Good evening and welcome to my live stream Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I'm on every night at 7 p.m., 7 days a week, with the show called Fight CPS Stop Taking Our Children. Now, I have another show I do in the mornings. On the weekends, it's on at 8 o'clock in the morning. During the weekdays, Monday through Friday, I'm on at 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, those times I'm giving you are Pacific Standard Time on the West Coast of California. If you're on the East Coast, you're 3 hours ahead of me. If you're in England, you're 8 hours ahead of me. And then Europe and Africa, you're 9 hours ahead of me. So these live streams, I do them twice a day. That's 14 live streams I do. Now, there are several ways you can interact with this live stream. First one is you can text me a message. And it could either be a question or a comment, but it should be about CPS. All I ask is you state your first name and your city or county, your state. Now, if you're outside the United States, please put your country. Also, please tell me about your case from the beginning to where you're at the moment. You've reached the right place. This is the 31st of August, 25. I've been doing this now for 22 months. Starting tomorrow will be the 23rd month. It's almost 2 years. I've been doing the same live stream talking to you. I have spoken over to 2,500 people, and I have a group, what I call family, or part of this room of 30 to 50 people that come on here regularly and help me do this live stream. Now, to make it interactive, just send me a question, text me a message, a question or comment. Now, another way to interact on this live stream is be a guest. To be a guest on my live stream, all you have to do is email our producer. Her email's in the banner up on the screen, grace@vincentwdaves.com. And you have 14 shows to pick from. You can either be on my Friday morning show, or my Saturday night show, or my Sunday morning, or Monday evening, or Wednesday morning, whatever evening or morning you want to work at, what day of the week. And when you write or send an email to her, you just request, I want to be a guest on Bob Pace's live stream. And I can take up to 9 of you at one time. So that's great. That'd be really great if you're a guest on my live stream. So send that email to my show producer, Grace, and she'll send back an email with what to copy and post in your browser. Copy and paste. And that would be great. She'll also tell you the rules, which are very simple. There's no eating or smoking during the show, no profanity, and we do not talk about the first names of the judges, the children, or the social workers. And that's all there is to be a guest on my live stream. I can take up 9 of you. Now, the last way is to make a phone call. That's very limited because I only can talk to one person at a time. My phone number's up at 626-698-0990. And you just call in. My phone is on, and I'd love to talk to you live. Now, my number is 626-698-0990, and I'd love to have you call me. We have somebody new, Taletta Bennett. Welcome. And you're in California. Good. I'm glad you told me that. What part of California are you? Are you in the LA County, Orange County, San Bernardino, Riverside, San Diego, Santa Barbara? I don't know what county you're in. And you want to know how I can get back my daughter after CPS has taken her from me due to assault by my son. So, what were the charges that were placed against you? What were the charges that you were placed against you? And I can try to help you get your daughter back. Now, since you said it's DCFS, Department of Children and Family Services, that might be LA County. Not every county uses the same logo. Okay, you're in LA County. You're one of the worst. They used to be called CPS, but they changed the name to the Department of Children and Family Services. And they're very corrupt. Half of the child protection systems are corrupt in the United States and around the world. Half. I have no idea how that got posted there. That was supposed to be my phone number. Someone just posted that. Wow. Okay. It says you are disabled and your son is disabled. Your son is 15, but I thought it was your daughter. I'm confused. What does your son have to do with your daughter? Why would they be coming after you? You didn't protect yourself. It's about your daughter. So, can you help me out a little bit, uh, Taltha? Can you help me a little bit about what you're saying or what you're meeting? Being disabled and your son's disabled and your daughter, I don't know what happened. I need more information. Can you call in, uh, Tabitha? Not Tabitha, but Talitha Bennett. My phone number is 626-698-0990. And I'd love to take your call. Now, you say your son attacked you. If he has a disability, how is he able to attack? At the time, it was just me, my daughter, and son. Department of Children and Family Services stated that I failed to protect my daughter because your son attacked you. That's not right. That's not right. You have a disabled. Hmm. Good evening and welcome to my CPS live stream. This is Bob Pace. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to? Well, hello, Lisa. What part of the country are you from? Are you in LA County?
Yes, sir.
Are you by any chance related to the Tabitha Bennett?
This is Talisa Bennett.
Thank you. I thought that might be you. Glad to meet you and welcome.
Thank
And
you for having me.
I'm so sorry that, not only do you have a disabled, but your son, 15, has a disabled. And then your daughter, how did your daughter get involved with you and your son?
Well, they say that because she was there at the time he assaulted me, I failed to protect myself and her. But like I explained to them, I had just got out of the hospital. I had went into a diabetic coma. I got out on a Monday.
Wow.
That Friday he assaulted me.
Within that, are you doing this without an attorney?
Well, they gave me a court-appointed attorney, but
did you want to take a court-appointed attorney, or could you afford one yourself?
I can't. I didn't want a court-appointed attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for an attorney to represent me.
Okay.
See, now the case is now out of juvenile dependency court. The case now, I have to file it in family law.
Well, in LA County, it's dependency court. It is family law. It's juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. All three go hand in hand. And they're trying to take away your rights, I guess, what they're trying to do. Is that right?
No, I have all my rights. They
Okay.
didn't take my rights away from me, anything.
Well, did they take your child away from you? Did you take your daughter?
They took my daughter, but everyone doesn't understand how when I'm the sole provider for all my kids. I have 6 kids total. I have 4
Understood.
adults and 2 minor
But
children.
was your daughter in danger? Is that why they took her?
She was inside the home when all this happened. She didn't come out until she seen me laying on the ground, and she called 911.
Okay, that was smart. So it is recorded on 911, right?
Yes.
Okay, 911 is a lot better to call than the police or CPS because a lot of times they don't record it. It's bad to say. I just want everybody to know that. Why did your son attack you?
Because I wouldn't. At the time, well, I still am. I was wrongfully evicted from my apartment that I was living in for 11 and a half years. And so we were basically homeless. So all of my stuff was in storage. I had to pay to have movers move my stuff from the apartment to the storage.
Now, why were you evicted? Was it because you didn't pay the rent?
Oh, my rent was paid up. It was during COVID. I had did the rent relief program.
Okay.
So there was some fraudulent activity done. The manager, I wasn't the only one that this happened to. She was taking the money and using it for her personal use. So they fired her, and she's under investigation right now. There is an attorney that's on that case working for all of the tenants that were in that building.
Okay.
we went and moved in with my fiance. He didn't want to, my son didn't want to abide by the rules and regulations. All he had to do was go to school, keep his room clean. He had his own bedroom, his own bathroom, and take out the trash, do his homework, and respect the household. He couldn't do that.
Oh boy.
He wanted to go to his friend. He wanted to go to his friend's house, his best friend's house. And I said, well, dude, you see her every day in school. Why do you need to go to her house during the week and stay till 9, 10 o'clock at night on a school night? No. So
well, he's immature, and he wants to grow up too fast and have a relationship with a girl, and he has no respect. He has no respect to being a teenager, because teenagers think they know it all. And on top of that, um, he thinks by treating you bad that he can get his way. And you're trying to be a good parent and discipline him. And
correct.
It's really hard
Well, my
because
son, he's part of the LGB. You know, he's lost right now. He doesn't know which way he wants to go. But you know, I still support him no matter what. But
understood. That's a hard topic. That's a hard topic to talk about. I know what you're going through your mind there. It is a hard topic.
Yeah. And so, like I explained to the police, I'm mom and dad. I've had 3 stress strokes. I just had my 12th spinal surgery in July. I had 12 spinal surgeries. I just had the 12th one in July. I have nerve damage on the left side. I'm going blind in my left eye. I have fibromyalgia, high blood pressure. You name it, it's me. But if you look at me, you wouldn't think any of that was wrong, because I walk by faith and not by sight. You know, people doubt me every day, but I walk with my head held high. And I don't take no for the final answer. I don't. But this situation that I'm in now with my kids, I've been the sole provider from day one. I've had my first son at 18. I'm 48 now.
Right.
I'm 48. Right.
What happened to the father, the biological father? What happened to him?
Well, the biological father for my daughter, he hasn't been around. He just came around right now when this case opened up.
Okay. Did you have different fathers? Did you have different fathers for different children?
Yes, my kids have different fathers.
Okay.
Now, my son's dad, he's looking at 2 life sentences, sentencing in prison.
Okay.
So,
that's not much of a future. So, are any of the fathers want to be involved with any of your children?
Well, my oldest 2 boys, their dad was involved in their life.
Okay.
And then my son's dad, my oldest daughter's dad, my 15-year-old dad, and my 23-year-old. Before he got incarcerated, he was involved. Now, my last baby, her dad is a mama's boy. He didn't work, didn't do nothing. I basically took care of him.
Is that because of disability?
No, I had to take an early retirement. I was a licensed LVN. I did private nursing for hospice patients.
Okay.
So I was a hospice nurse.
Oh, okay.
And I did live-in. I did live-in because it paid more.
Right. So you had a legitimate job, and you've been raising your kids. How many total kids are we talking about?
I have a total of 6.
Okay.
And I've raised them.
Are all 6 children stable, or are they all in different problems?
Well, they're stable except for the last 2 because they're minors.
Okay.
And like I said, my daughter, my 9-year-old daughter, she's with the biological father, but he hasn't been there for her. You know, he hasn't supported her financially, physically, emotionally, nothing. Hasn't, interacted with her nothing, I'm not a bitter baby mama with whatever they want to call it. I had an open door policy. He used to come over my house and just walk in and made himself at home. Okay, that's fine. I didn't have a problem with that. But then he just stopped. Like, he didn't call anything. He didn't want nobody to have his number, any of that. And so now that this has happened to me, and he was informed by the courts that the kids, my minor kids, were getting a piece of my pension from my retirement, that's when he was like, oh, well, she comes with a check. So it's about money with her, with my daughter and her dad. All he's worried about is the money. So that's fine. He can have the money. I just want my daughter back. I just want to know how I can get my daughter back.
Mm. Does your daughter want to come back?
She's been wanting to come back.
Okay.
Since he's taken her education, she was at 4th and 5th grade level in the 3rd grade. Now she's at 3rd grade, 2nd and 3rd grade level, and she's in 4th grade now. The courts made me take her out of Girl Scouts. I had to take her out of Girl Scouts. She was in Girl Scouts for 4 years. She had to stop doing Girl Scouts. I had to take her out of dance, and then I had to stop her from going to church. She was part of the youth ministry at the church. She was over the whole ministry.
Mm-hmm.
So where she would pray them in and pray the kids in and pray the kids out. She had to be taken out of all that.
Okay.
I had her in ABC Now. So she was going to school getting, the education from school, but then she would come home, do schoolwork, and then she would have to get on ABC Now for the extra learning.
Right.
Her reading levels went down. It's like everything.
When you're laying on the ground, how did it happen? I mean, what happened?
Well, he tried to, everything was fine up that Friday morning. He got up, we all, brushed his teeth, whatever, we were sitting at the table eating, and everything was fine. He came home from school. He was still fine. I asked him how was school. He said fine. He was telling me about what happened at the school. He didn't want to go to the school because there was too many fights going on. They locked the school down all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Mom, somebody's parents had came to the school and was fighting the kids. So I said, well, we need to try to find you another school to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So we were sitting at the table. I said, do you have homework? He said, I just have 1 page. I said, okay, you need to go upstairs to your room and finish it. So I was on the patio with my daughter, and we were doing more adding and subtracting. And she said, I'm going to go get my purse, Mom. So I said, okay, go get your purse and your baby. You're all finished with your math homework. So I was sitting outside because I make these little friendship bracelets, and I was making the bracelets.
Yeah.
And he came outside with his belongings, and he was like, I'm leaving. And I said, excuse me? He was like, oh, you heard me. I'm leaving. I'm not staying here. I said, you're a child. You're not going anywhere.
Did your court-appointed attorney present the facts that you're a diabetic and you had a incident that took you down? Did you have that presented in court?
I had all of my paperwork. Even Kaiser sent over a disc with my X-rays, CTs, MR, everything on it.
How did the court-appointed attorney perform?
He just basically said that the judge is not going to take that into consideration. She's not going to want to look at that. But I said, this is the whole reason why all this came about.
Why would the attorney not want that? Does he not want to defend you?
It was a she, and that's what I felt. I felt she didn't protect me. She didn't help me.
Well, here's the problem is 50% of the time the CPS system is corrupt and the attorneys are corrupt. You see, when they're hired by CPS, they work for CPS. They don't work for you. You're not paying them. Mm-hmm. And also the court-appointed attorneys have a caseload of maybe 30 to 100 clients. And that's too many people for them to keep track of everything. And CPS does that on purpose to have them with a lot of cases so they don't perform. So this is really kind of tough on you because right now you're hearing this maybe for the first time. But you can still fight this. You just need to either get a new court-appointed attorney or hire that attorney you want.
But they told me I had to file. Well, I did my appeal. I filed for an appeal.
What was the appeal about? How did the appeal? What did it say?
Well, the appeal attorney just got in touch with me. She said it'd take a couple of months because she just wrote up something and submitted it to DCFS's attorney. She's waiting for them to go over it and respond. When they respond, if it's not to her liking, she's definitely for sure gonna, file something else in response to whatever they're saying. But she said, this is ridiculous. I'm just gonna motion for them to, drop everything and just give you your daughter back because this is ridiculous. She just basically told me.
Yeah.
She said, I'm not understanding it. She said, this doesn't even make any sense. So I was asking the course, I said, well, what's the difference between me and him being outside on the street and he doing it to a total stranger? Is it because I'm mom and basically these kids, they're letting these kids get away with too much? Too much.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. I want to say hello to Bartley from Georgia. Hello, I'm Bartley. I'm sorry, Bartley from Montana. Hello, Bartley 54. And I have a new person, Veronica and Bueno. I don't know if that's Bueno Iris, that you're in South America or where you are at, Veronica. But I know you said that your baby's birthday is today. Happy birthday. I know you're lonely. You're among family here, so I'm glad you joined us. And Bartley says, I'm so sorry, Veronica. Well, we have Veronica here. I think that's the last name, Bueno. I don't know where you're from. Bartley is from Montana. And we have Talitha Bennett here from LA County, California. And I'm glad that you called in. What I'm trying to understand.
Thank you for having me call in.
Yeah, what I don't seem to understand is the attorney that was appointed to you. Have you talked to her and asked her why she's not fighting the case?
I talked to her. The case for my daughter, they closed her case out March the 11th of this year and told me that's who I had to file the appeal for, was my daughter.
Why did they close the case out?
To be honest, I don't know. She was with Dad at the time. And I don't even know why they closed the case out. Now, here's the thing. Let me back up some.
Mm-hmm.
When it first took place, the judge allowed me to stay at my oldest daughter's house with my two minor kids. Now, at the time, my daughter was pregnant with my granddaughter. So they let my daughter attack me. They let her and her boyfriend attack me 3 times.
Whoa. You have your son attack you. Now you have another daughter?
My daughter. Her and her boyfriend.
I did not hear. So you've had 3 people attack you now?
Yep. This was after I had moved into my daughter's. So first my son attacked me, then they take him from me. And we get our first court date. And first court date, the judge is like, okay, well, if you're going to stay, you're homeless, you're going to stay with your daughter, we'll monitor everything. She tried to keep us all together. So my daughter, she just, her mouth, she has a real disrespectful mouth. And I'm like, well, at the end of the day, I'm still mom, And her and the boyfriend had left and went to where they came back. And he had said something to her about my son, calling him gay or something. And I said, well, why would you let him speak amongst your brother like that? So he came out the room and jumped in my face and said, well, I said it, call me every name but a child of God. Call me OB. He'll spit in my face. He wish I was dead. Him and my daughter attacked me. He ran up on me first. He kicked me. And then my daughter started talking me.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so, yeah. Then I notified DCFS. The worker we had with DCFS out here in California, I'm going to let it be known. She had a disability. I'm not, knocking her for her having a disability, anything like that. But they knew she was kind of delayed in things. So when I first met her, I said, oh, this is a setup. And she said, well, what do you mean? I said, you can barely comprehend what I'm saying. And it's taking you forever to respond to the questions that we're asking you. I said, so this is just a setup. You're writing down information incorrectly. Because I'm looking at the notebook. I said, you're writing down information incorrectly. They should have given you a tape recorder. had a speech event. So I said, they just set me up. This is a setup. They put you on the case to set me up to take my kids. And she's all, well, I don't know. No one never knew anything. Every time I asked about the case, they wouldn't give me information. But they would give my daughter information because she had my son and my 9-year-old. And they would give my 9-year-old's dad information. So I said, well, wait a minute. Something's not right here. I'm the mother. You guys took them from me for A, B, and C. How come I'm not getting any information on what's going on? I'm being left in the dark. So they're all looking around like a chicken, a deer in headlights, don't know what to say. Okay, we go to court. Still, I have to do the reunification they want me to do. I had to take anger management. They made me take an anger management class. Why, I don't know.
That's a long class. It's 52 weeks.
No, out here it's different.
Well, I was in Orange County, and it was a whole year-long class. Anger management was.
Yeah, anger management out here, I think it was 12 weeks I had to do. 12 weeks of anger management.
Well, that's better than I had to, because I had to do a whole year, 52 weeks.
Yeah, I got my certificate, and then I said, you know what, hey, I got nothing but time on my hands, let me go and take some other classes that I don't even have to take. I took a parenting class. I got a certificate for that. I got character letters from the school fight that my daughter was going to, from doctors, my primary doctor at Kaiser, my caseworker at Kaiser, my social worker at Kaiser, the therapist and everything, and I presented it to the court. Now, I gave the medical records because I had went to 3 different hospitals. I ended up having a seizure inside the CT scan, to where I had to be rushed back to the hospital. I've never had a seizure a day in my life. Never. So when I presented all this to my attorney, it was copies to give to the judge. She went through the paperwork. She said, your medical, you can keep it because she's not going to want to look at that. And I said, well, why not? This is why we're here. We're here because he assaulted me and ran to my daughter's house.
Wow.
And I had to go to the hospital.
Wow.
She said, yeah, but they're not going to want to look at that.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I'm going to be honest with you. Despite of what happened to you, what he did to you, they're not worried about that. Their concern is the child. So I said, well, who can we talk to? What can I do? She told me, she said, to be honest with you, the person that we have that's sitting on the bench inside the district attorney's office, he's not prosecuting kids. He's
Mm-hmm.
the only way he's going to prosecute a child is if it's murder or attempted murder. So I said, what the hell do you think that was? What do you think it was?
Murder.
Attempted murder.
Oh, well, yeah, because I guess the child's
So I said, you guys are trying to be on your P's and Q's. The little boy Gabriel, my son went to school with Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
I said, ever since he got killed, you guys are running. But then you guys come up, these kids is at the park, getting a hold of fentanyl. They had a 1-year-old baby that just died from getting fentanyl from the parents.
Yeah.
They didn't even take the lady, the husband's kids away from them. They didn't take them away. Then you had a lady that had a baby in foster care. She wasn't supposed to let the baby go with the mom, and she let the baby go, and the baby got a hold of fentanyl and died.
Wow.
So they pick and choose who they want to pick on, and they said, well, it just basically depends. Then they start to say, well, it depends on how many call-ins you have. I said, call-ins? What do you mean? So that's when she started to say, oh, well, you have 25 call-ins. Then you have 50 call-ins. Now it's 75. I said, you guys don't even know how many people called in on me. You're just making up numbers. And I said, you can't help who called in on a person. So you're telling me if I was to call in on you, then what? You can't stop me from calling and making false allegations against you. And that's what they are, false allegations. There were no findings, because if it was, I would have never happened. They wouldn't see what they had to do. Yeah.
Wow.
But I think it's because you guys look at the fact I'm a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
I've raised my kids, and I'm raising two more. When it comes to my kids and their education, I'm going to be honest. I do not play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I made that very clear to them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't whoop my kids because I'm a much older person. I've been through a lot. I'm the oldest girl out of 4 siblings.
Okay.
So I had to take on a big responsibility. Okay?
All right.
My nerves are shot. I said the fact that I had to deal with everybody's situation, their problems. I'm the glue that holds the whole family together. Everybody comes to me for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. But I have no one to go to
Mm-hmm.
when I need to sit down or I'm having a breakdown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I keep trying to explain to them and express to the court system that the juvenile dependency court in Palmdale, California, it was in Lancaster, California,
Yeah.
on Avenue J and 10th Street West. It's not about these adults. It's not about me. It's not about the dad. It's not about my adult children. It's not about you, the attorney. It's about my kids.
Yeah.
And these kids are suffering. It's the kids that are suffering.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids that are with the parents that need to be taken away are still there with the parents.
Right. 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 So is that court appointed?
The social workers, that's where I had to ask for a new social worker. They gave me a new social worker. I have a guy now, Mr. Whatever, John Doe.
Right.
Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. He tries to belittle me. And at first I was like, let me just bite my tongue, and then bite my tongue to keep from saying anything to this man, because right now they feel they got the upper hand. But I said, you know what, I'm human just like they are. So I had to take him from a misdemeanor to a felony real quick and let him know I am somebody's mother.
Yeah.
Whether you want to take that into existence or not, I am a mother, okay? And I will not allow you or have you stand and talk to me and try to belittle me because you got this position that you're trying to take, let you take control of everybody. I said, no, it doesn't work like that. Because, see, what you don't know is I used to work for CPS back in the 1990s.
Right.
For Riverside County. And I said, young man, you're a child under me. You're about the same age as one of my sons.
Right, right. Well,
so I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me. And I got the threats. Oh, I'll end your visit now, this and that. Okay, do whatever you have to do. Do whatever. Because I won't abide by you. I'm here for my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I got video of the social worker conversating with the dad. They used to cut my visits short. They'll show up late to my visits on Saturdays. And it was from 11 to 3. And then the visits would be cut short. They'll show up about 11:45. But still my visits will have to end at 3 o'clock. And when I say something, it's like, why'd you say something? Well, I got things I got to do. I'm not trying to stay for a visit all day. Well, you showed up late. And this is my time. I got video of the social worker conversating with my daughter's dad at the car, giving them dabs, and they just laughing back and forth. And I'm like, come on now, this is my visiting time. California DCFS office, LA County, they're corrupt.
I know they are.
They're corrupt.
And you used to work for Riverside.
And somebody needs to do something. Yeah, somebody needs to do something to them. I recorded a conversation with the social worker and his supervisor, and because he had timed her in on the call, and I said, okay, well then with all due respect, I will record this phone call because I know how y'all, are. They called me stupid, dumb, They thought they hung up the phone, but the phone, my end was still recording.
Wow. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and didn't hang it up. So I was called stupid, dumb, silly, all these names by 2 DCFS workers, and one being a supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
I've called Karen Barger's office. They don't do nothing. Nothing was done. I called Kimberly Johnson. She's over District 5 at the DCFS office in Lancaster, California.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was done. Nothing was done. They allowed my daughter, after she gave birth, they allowed my daughter to jump on me, attack me. She threw a glass candle at me and a game controller, and they didn't see no problem with that.
Wow.
None whatsoever. So don't come to California. Don't come to California and then get involved in the, I'm being honest with you guys, with the DCFS case, because they will try to hang you. They lied in the report, you know, and it's like, who said this? They didn't talk to me on this day.
That is, yeah, I understand.
Whatever I say to them, they'll go back and let the dad know or let my daughter know. Well, she said this, and the third. It's like, you're being messy. They're messy. They like to stir up problems amongst the families with the he say, she say. I had a CFT meeting. I had 2 CFT meetings. I had one last year, one this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting for the report from the first CFT meeting.
Okay.
I had the second one. I said, can you guys please send me a copy of the report from the first CFT meeting and this CFT meeting? I'm going to get that right out to you, Ms. Bennett. That was 4 months ago, and I'm still waiting for the second CFT report.
Mm-hmm.
They don't help as far as trying to get the parents to, you know, like with my situation, the homeless situation. Oh, we don't assist with that. We don't help you with that. And I said, well, I've never heard that before. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
You take my daughter from me. You take my daughter from me and place her with dad. But I have to do reunification with my son, the one that jumped on me.
Well, here's a question for you. Why are you trying to do reunification with your daughter or with your son that did you wrong?
They said that this is what they said the judge said I have to do. It's in the minute orders.
What? That says you have to do reunification?
I have to do the reunification with my son.
Even though he's caused you bodily harm?
Oh, yeah. They don't care. That's what I'm saying. They don't care. They don't care. I'm mom. They don't care. If he had done it to somebody on the street, he will be sitting in juvenile or in jail or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But because it was me, mom, that's mom. It's okay. That's why a lot of these parents is killing these kids. A lot of kids is killing the parents. Sit down and listen and take heed to what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Hear a person out before you go pointing a finger and judging a person. Because you never know what that person has been through.
That's true.
They want to defend the, protect it. Okay, you want to protect the child, but what about the parents? I don't know. It just needs to be.
Have you thought about replacing? Have you thought about replacing the court-appointed attorney?
Oh, I tried that. I've even asked for a new judge. I even asked for the case to be heard somewhere else. I was staying in a whole different county. They said, no, we can't do that. I said, you can't change the court, the judge. I'm requesting the court be heard in a different county because I don't live out here. And I'm asking for another court-appointed attorney. Oh, this judge is not going to do that. She's not going to go for that. So I advise people that's never been through this, that walk into something like this one day, please do your research.
Mm-hmm.
Please do it. Don't end up like me. I'm lost. I'm lost, and I'm still lost.
Yeah.
Questions I ask, they never get answered. Well, at least they don't get answered to me.
As far as getting a real attorney, you don't have the funds for one. Is that part of the problem?
Yes, and no. Like if I have to, I just can't.
It's okay. It's okay.
I just can't.
I know that. I want to say hello to Margaret King that came into the room. Some people have come in the room since you've been talking. We did find out that her baby's birthday. She is also from Fairfield, California. So Veronica now is Deborah. And Margaret King says they always go after good appearance. That's true. And she says, "Hi, Bob. Treat them way they treat you. Treat them the way they treat you," Margaret King says. And you can file and submit into the court record. She says you can file and submit to the court record. I wonder what you can submit. Margaret, could you clarify what you want be submitted? I know you're trying to help out the mother here that's on the phone, but Margaret King is from Kern County, California. She's hired Mr. Davis. She had a criminal matter first. She got that dropped, and now she has her CPS case. Anybody that usually starts out, if they have a criminal matter, that's got to be done first before they do the CPS matter, because they always want to bank on your criminal charges.
Yeah, I don't have any criminal charges.
No, but Margaret King did, and other people in this room do, because I have over 2,500 people I've talked to, and from all 50 states and from 19 or 22 countries. The U.S. makes 23 countries.
Okay.
So what is your next? What is the next thing in court that's ready to be happening next? What is going to be happening next?
Okay. I have a court date for my daughter, so I filed the motion with the family law court in Lancaster at the big courthouse. So I went to court on August the 6th. That was the very first court date. I went to court. The dad never showed up. He never showed up. The judge looked at my paperwork. He told me I need your exhibits. I need all of your proof because in your file, DCFS is saying you never completed anger management. You're not going to your therapy, and you're not visiting with your psych doctor, because I suffer from depression and anxiety. So they had in there that I wasn't complying with those orders, and I said, well, a letter was submitted from both doctors stating that they've been treating me for over 7 years. And I just had to basically get a copy of those letters like the judge had asked me to on August the 6th. Make copies of those and refile it with the court. I go back to court on my daughter in September on the 24th. For my son, our court date is September the 11th. And they're still pushing for reunification.
Good. Let's not stop reunifications. That's important.
Now, my son's with my oldest daughter, and he doesn't want to be there. So I keep telling him I can't speak for doesn't
Right.
want to be there because he's being mistreated.
Right. Understood. Understood.
Now, mind you, my kids are not with me physically, but I still provide for my kids. I told them at the end of the day, I'm still a mother. And my job is to protect my cubs, and make sure that they have. And that's all that I've been doing is making sure my kids have. As far as school clothes, summer clothes, winter clothes, everything, I've done all that. Shoes, socks, underwear, t-shirt, that's coming from me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cell phones, that's all me. I got my daughter an iPhone. Her dad wanted that iPhone. He lied and said she broke just so he could take it from her and say, wipe the whole iPhone clean, and he's using the iPhone to this day. And once again, CPS doesn't see anything wrong with that.
Okay.
So I basically just told them, I don't know who's going to do it. I don't care which one of you do it. It could be your department, or it could be theirs. But one of you guys are going to pay me for that phone.
Well, as a parent, who pays for the phone bill?
Me.
Okay, then you have the right to put any rules you want on the phone.
Exactly. But he went back and told the court that because my daughter was texting me, and she was crying, Mom, help. And sending me pictures of herself, with the sad face. She said, Mom, my dad over here and the girlfriend had beat her daughter with a stick. All this was reported to DCFS. They did nothing. They didn't investigate it or anything. It came out of my daughter's mouth, my 8-year-old's mouth.
Yeah.
What goes on over there at her dad? He said he's always smoking the grown people stuff. My daughter has asthma. My daughter has insomnia. He's high function autistic. When he got her, he stopped her from taking all her medication. Oh, she don't need that. She's fine. She's all right. And she's got her withdrawals now. She's acting out. She
Yeah.
can't sleep. She's up to 2 and 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
But we as parents, we can only say so much. There's only so much we can say and do.
You're right.
I don't want to step on nobody's toes. I just want my daughter back. That's it. That's all. I even offered, because before my court date, August the 6th, I had to go. We had mediation. I literally gave this man every holiday, every weekend, from Friday to Tuesday. You could pick her up from school on Friday, drop her back off at school on Tuesday. I'll pick her up Tuesday and keep her till that Friday. Oh no, I don't agree with the mediation. He's just being bitter. So I'm thinking, it's fine. I'm not even gonna worry about it. We have the court date, no call, no show. I said, isn't that? Well, wait a minute. He just sent up the court order. He said, well, it shows here he's been served when he knew of the court date. I said, of course. A social worker served him.
Yeah.
So he's giving me contempt of the court order is what I'm asking the judge. I get no reply. All I get her telling me is, give me this, and the third, and come back September 24th.
Right. Right. I'm looking at.
To show you how the system is. That's the system.
Right.
And it goes to show you how the system is.
Right. I looked at our clock. We're 8 o'clock. My show stops at 8 o'clock. So I am going to have to call it for tonight. Doesn't mean you can't continue the talk till tomorrow. I'm on again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in the morning. That's Pacific Standard Time. You're on the West Coast. I'm on the West Coast. But if you'd like to continue this further, I have no problem with you. I want to help you. That's why I'm here.
Okay.
So I'm so sorry you had to go through with all this. You're very candid to answer my questions. You have a terrible time with a court-appointed attorney, and it's going to be like that until you get a real attorney. And if you keep all the unification still in place, there is outside chance it'll all work itself out in the end. But I'm
Right.
so sorry you're going through all this. I really am.
It's okay. I just ask everybody to keep, please. I'm not asking for no sympathy or anything.
No, I
I
know.
don't want any handouts. No money or anything. Just
Right.
pray for me. That's all I ask people for. Just
Well,
please pray for me.
yeah.
Continue to pray for me and my family.
Yeah, I will. I will on that one there. But I want to thank you very much for calling and sharing your story. I want to thank Margaret.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. I want to thank Margaret King from Kern County, California. I want to thank Veronica Benito from Fairview, California. And thank you for texting in here. See who else did we have here tonight? I know we had Barclay 54 from Montana. Thank you very much for your concerns for Talitha Bennett, who's been talking tonight. And really want to thank her again. She's, of course, had a terrible time with her two children turned against her. But I know that you keep fighting CPS. Don't give up. Be there for your child. Do not give up. And as long as you still fight, yeah.
You have my email.
No,
my email address is up there. And if you guys have any information, please email me.
Okay.
Whatever it is that will benefit
Sure.
me and help me.
Okay. But I do want to invite you back again tomorrow. And thank you so much for calling in. There'll be a brief video at the end of my presentation. I want you all to listen. So with that being said, Bob Pace is going to sign off, but I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. God bless y'all, and thank you.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.